It's the 4th of July. This is Rabbi Levitt, Chofetz Chaim.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to go to Sefer, and we're going to call on Alan to continue.
Okay, so which page are we on now? I'm sorry.
11.
This is volume 2, right?
Yes.
What page again?
11.
11, okay. Sacrificing livelihood?
That's it.
Okay. One must be prepared to forfeit his entire livelihood to avoid speaking ridiculous. Number 6. Afilu im hu ro'eh she'al yedei zeh shelo galeh. It is forbidden to speak ridiculous, even if one foresees that by not disclosing information, Yusuvas lo hefser gadol but in your nov, his livelihood will suffer a heavy loss. A kagon, for example, shehu tacharim. If Reuven is subject to the authority of others who employ him, and someone, Yehuda, spoke or acted against those employers in Reuben's presence, ukashehem mavinim es hadorvor, and when they realize what happens of a omadim lohem, they pressure Reuben to tell them exactly what Yehuda said. Now Reuven realizes that should he refuse to do so, should duhu shagam yudo hu im poloni. They will suspect him of collaborating with Yehuda because of his unwillingness to reveal the information. And consequently, they may dismiss him from his position. Below lo achar koch boma lefaras nes es b'nei beiso, leaving him with no means of supporting his family.
Wow.
P. Cain also is nevertheless forbidden for him to reveal the information, even under such trying circumstances. As is the law with regards to all other negative commandments. Shema Chuvor, the Tain call Shirlo, that one is required to forfeit everything he has below Vor Lehen, rather than violate any one of them, and that includes losing the source of one's livelihood. Kama or ro rab they or me mon as explained in Yodea, Imlo Wakom Sheba Hey Louis Yet to Ellis the Lake Ana Noakin Ula Asha Vis Orim Sirama, to reveal such information only if the disclosure will serve the constructive purpose of averting harm as employers might otherwise suffer, or if we will help put an end to the disagreement that the employers are having with Yehuda. Aval ein lemaher Lisimboch al zeh har. However, Ruvain should not be too quick to rely on this license. Ki zarich zeh team rabim, because there are many conditions that must be fulfilled before it can be applied. Uvamo sheber im yirtzu Hashem, as we shall explain, with Hashem's help. Mourn Ruvain, below is clear number 9, at length. Great reward for embarrassment. Speaking with Chilas is forbidden, even if refraining from speaking will cause distress and humiliation. One who avoids speaking with Chilas under such conditions and chooses to suffer embarrassment instead will receive great reward. Number 7. Uvifa brought in al yidei or there is particularly no excuse to speak with Chilas.
Sorry, are we? Have we just finished 6?
Oh,
Yeah.
We don't go on to 7 yet. We have to look at 6.
Okay, so this is right. This is the situation that the employer has some suspicions about Jew number 2, that he's been talking against the employer, and the employer is approaching Jew number 3, and because he knows he's a co-worker, and he suspects that he knows what the Jew number 2 said about him, and so he goes and so even still, and of course it could cost him his job if he doesn't tell him, because the employer is going to think that, oh, he also says the same thing about me, so he's trying to defend the guy, Jew number 2. Jew number 3 is trying to defend Jew number 2 by refusing to tell me what he told, what he said about him. Nevertheless, even at the risk of losing his job, he's not allowed to tell the employer what Jew number 2 said about the employer.
Good or bad?
What's that?
Good or bad?
Well, I mean, if he did say, that's where Lou's comment comes in. This is an interesting case. Let's say the Jew number 2 was talking about the employer, and Jew number 3 was there. He heard what he was saying, and he says 5 things that are complimentary, and he said 5 things that are not complimentary. And so now the employer, so the employer is approaching Jew number 3 and said, I understand that you may know some things about what Jew number 2 said about me. I'm asking you as an employee of the company, for the sake of the well-being of the company and the proper running of the company, et cetera, that you should tell me what he said. So I don't see any problem with Jew number 3 saying that, Jew number 2 said 5 complimentary things about you. Why not? He could say that.
Hmm. I'm not sure. All right.
What we're saying is he cannot relate any he can't relate any derogatory things about what he said about him.
Didn't we say that Lashon Hara itself is either good or bad things?
Well, the issue is not whether Jew number 2 is right about what he said about the employer. The point is that it's true that Jew number 2 said 10 things about the employer. 5 of them were complimentary, and 5 of them were not.
Hmm.
And the employer is asking him to tell him everything that he said, because he's got a suspicion. Maybe he heard through the grapevine, whatever it is, that there's things that he said that are not complimentary. So I'm saying that the Chofetz Chaim is saying that he's not allowed to the Chofetz Chaim is saying he's not allowed to reveal any of the non-complimentary things. So I'm saying it would seem that he would be able to relate the complimentary things. I don't see that being an Issur Achilas. He said you always come in to work on time, and he says you're always well aware of what everybody does in the office, and and 3 other things that don't reflect unfavorably on the employer. He could say that. Then the employer is going to say, and did he say anything else? So that's what we're saying, that he's gonna to figure out something to say at that point. But the alternative is not to reveal to him the 5 negative things that he said about him. And even if it's at the expense of his job. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, it's the Chofetz Chaim says over here in the Berman Chaim that it goes without saying, and it's obvious that if the matter is a matter of sekanas nefashos, then it would certainly be permissible to transgress a negative prohibition of the Torah. In other words, right? If the mafia, well, that's an interesting question. Yeah. What in other words, what if the mafia says, "You better tell us what the Maloney said, or we're going to kill you," right? So then he's allowed to save his lot. That's a case of sekanas nefashos now. So he would be able to relate the rechilas. Why? Because one is allowed to transgress a negative command in order to save his life.
And then the mafia kill him. Kill him anyway.
He has to try his best, even in the case of a suffix. Sekanas nefashos mean there's a good possibility that they won't kill him if he tells them the rechilas. I was just thinking that the problem is that then based upon this rechilas that he tells them, they might go and kill this other person that he related, said those things about the mafia. So it's a that's an interesting question. Yeah. Okay.
Time is up.
Time is up. Okay. A great day to Mayor.